Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today is going to be a very lonely stream because we are streaming at almost 2 in the morning. Because I was planning to stream like maybe a couple hours ago and ended up just scrolling on YouTube mindlessly for 2 hours, which hasn't happened in a while, and I absolutely hate it as well because YouTube isn't even funny. At least like the shorts that pop up for me. So it's just a complete waste of time. But sometimes it just catches you off guard and you're just stuck in this like death cycle of scrolling. But yeah, it's a Monday. Well, I guess not anymore, but it's a Monday, and in fairness, like I really did a lot of work today. So I think maybe that's also why, like when you're like especially tired and exhausted from a lot of hard work, then this happens. But at the same time, it's like, I wanted to stream. And also, like, I've been rewatching Steins Gate, the anime. And I'm really, really keen to, like, watch more and find out what happens next, because it's been probably, like, 10 years since I watched it, and it's still a fantastic show. But yeah, I'm not going to have time for any of that. Because I wasted it on scrolling. So it doesn't happen so often, thankfully. But what I want to make sure is that I still put in my shift, right? I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I waste time, and I even give up on the routines as well. So we're gonna get into it. Probably. There will either be no people in chat, or it will be probably Stephen from Washington, Seattle. So that'll be funny if Stephen were to join, because he's the only person probably in a relevant time zone to the stream. But yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to solve some Woodpecker, and I'm determined to keep solving, keep sharp, and keep improving. So let's go. Mikhail Tal against Cherepkov. Let's go. So we've got Queen, Rook, Bishop, Bishop, Knight against Queen, Rook, Bishop, Bishop, Knight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 6. We have a fork in the position, Knight and Bishop. There's this Rook pinning the pawn to our Queen. These bishops are kind of eyeing up this kingside. This pawn is loose, potentially for some queen d3, maybe. I mean, instinctively, queen d3 looks like a great move. I guess another option is like bishop h7, give a check on c2, and then you can pick up one of these pieces. Anything else worth noting? Not really. So, okay. Yeah, let's start with our check. So bishop h7 is one candidate move. What about captures? Okay, we can take here or here with both pieces. And threats, I mean, queen d3 is a big threat. just getting distracted by just the thought of like just trying to understand like why something like YouTube Shorts exist that prey on your kind of attention span and try and hook you in. It's like the YouTube Shorts are monetized for the channels that are making this content. And then YouTube obviously takes a cut, and YouTube is owned by Google. So Google is benefiting from this. I guess that's interesting, right? It's like if you can make someone addicted to some kind of thing, then that's a great customer in a way from a purely money perspective. But then you've got certain addictions in the world that are deemed too disruptive. So for instance, let's say drugs that have like a physical addiction. And then the companies aren't benefiting from that because they're either illegal. Or like for instance, let's say like cigarettes and like alcohol, like that's legal, but then it's like so frowned upon. But then like I think something like reels or something, it's like completely disruptive to the human. And yet there doesn't seem to be any kind of like shame. I mean, there is maybe a little bit, but not to the extent of, let's say, I don't know, smoking or drinking, right? Despite it being an addiction as well. So it's kind of like these companies have found a way to get people addicted without, you know, having that consequence of, oh, you know, there are actual scientific studies that say, like, you know, you increase your risk of cancers and heart risk and stuff. I wonder what other aspects of our lives, like, you know, a lot of people are readily addicted to that thing, but they don't really even notice it. And the annoying thing is, like, I normally even have like blockers on my phone, like I have like app blocks which say, like, you know, you can only spend 5 minutes on this app before it like you know, blocks the app. But the thing is, I use my phone for reading chat, and that means I can't have it block in 5 minutes, right? So I turn off the ad block. I turn off the app block for when I stream, and then I just kept scrolling because I got interested in something, and then suddenly, you know, it's just mindless, like crappy content which I don't even want. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Hey Frizz, I guess it's just you and me. 3 a.m. for me, sleep is non-existent. What a life we're living. What are you doing up at 3 a.m.? Why aren't you sleeping? I take it you're not solving Woodpecker method exercises. Hopefully not doom scrolling as well. That would be a shame if we're both in that boat. But okay, let's probably solve this. Also, have you watched Steins Gate? Because, like, what a show. What an absolute unbelievable show. Okay. I mean, bishop h7, king h7, queen c2, king moves, and pawn takes e6 looks really strong. Really like the look of that. You just have the better structure, endless pressure. Looks really good. But okay, let's just double check all the other lines. So those pawn captures don't work. Knight takes e5. Just knight e5. It's not good. What about this queen d3? Queen d3. If they block and they play like f5 or something. If we take on b5, they can take on d5. I think it's really as simple as that. So I think it's just bishop h7 and queen c2 and take on e6. Yeah, I mean this. Yeah, it's only a positional advantage, but a great one. Exactly. That was my feeling. Playing chess, I just 2-0'd an NM with beautiful tactics. Love to hear it. Love to hear it first. Steins Gate is one of my all-time favorites. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I haven't watched it for so long, but like, I just got the urge to watch it again, and yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And it's funny because I remember back in my school, we had a pretty big physics department, and I wasn't doing physics for A level because I don't know, just too many aspects of it were too difficult to get my head around. But I also blame the teachers for that because, like, in year 9, physics was actually my favorite subject, and I really grasped it. I really loved it. But then in year 10 and 11, I had like teachers that weren't right for me, and then I just lost all interest in it. But I know that my year in physics, they got to go to CERN to like, you know, study further, I don't know, particle physics and stuff. And yeah, imagine going on a school trip to CERN. And I remember having some friends who were on that school trip who had like watched Steins Gate at the time, and like CERN is seen as this like, you know, evil corporation in Steins Gate. So it's just brilliant. Like that'll be like the coolest school trip ever if you know, if you watch Steins Gate at the same time as going on that trip. But okay, that was good. Okay, not one of my favorites. It's clear number one. Interesting. Did you watch Orb in the end? You did watch Orb, right? I think we spoke about Orb briefly. It's really tough to say. It's really tough to say what's overall number one. I can't put Steins Gate as number one, but it is one of my favorites. Like it's just really it's tough. It's too tough to like to put a number one because there's so many shows that like have so many different aspects to it. And it depends like which one you value, which aspect you value the most, and it like, you know, that often changes even. So it's just hard to say. Like for instance, one show. I mean, the show I watched before Steins Gate was this like, you know, pretty chill. You know, I don't know what genre to call it. Just an enjoyable watch. Called Bocce the Rock, which is like, you know, about some like high school aspiring student that joins like a rock band, and like, you know, her journey within that world. And like for me, like I just appreciated so much like the exploration of this like INFP personality type, which I just haven't seen any other show like, you know, demonstrate to this perfection. So I don't know, there's just so many aspects of not just anime, but just like, I don't know, any form of like movie or something that can just be so nice. I watched Orb, I really liked it, but not in my top five. I was underwhelmed by the end. Yeah. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. I mean, I actually I understand how it can feel underwhelming, but at the same time, I actually kind of liked it. Because without giving any spoilers for anyone who might potentially watch it or is watching it, I feel like it's kind of like maybe realistic is the right way to put it. And there's still like this kind of feeling of like, I don't know, there's this like feeling of like it was all pointless, but then it's still meaningful. And I actually like that kind of bittersweet feeling. Steins Gate starts so chill, and then I got traumatized. Yeah, I'm yet to get to the trauma. I believe it's like around like episode 12 when like things just go absolutely batshit crazy. I think I'm on like episode 8 or something. So it's like we're getting there. But I mean, even the beginning, to be honest, I found it super interesting. Like I was hooked from the start, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people say like the beginning was so slow, but I don't know. I think it was still great, to be honest. Okay, let's think about this Larsen Tau. Um, Instinct is like, oh, can I just go Rook G7 and give a checkmate like this? Rook G7, if they take with the king, though, that's probably a different story. Unless I can get really fancy with some Rook C7. I don't know where these moves are coming from, but it actually looks kind of smart. Because like, if they take, then I just take back and I'm up a piece. So does this just solve all of our problems? Because I mean, like, Rook C8 is covered by the bishop. Feels like that's our best bet. Unless Rook takes and then... Oh, but when they take back, it's a check. So we're not in time for Rook C7. So yeah, I like this a lot. Let's go for it. Oh, Bishop D7. Maybe that's a move I could have worked harder to find, but we can just take it. I guess this is a better version for them because then it's Rook against two knights. But I wonder if we've got a follow-up. I mean, I'd probably want to keep the queens on, right? So Queen G3 wouldn't be like a good idea. But I mean, I could play like Queen C3, check. And if the king were to move, then I could play Knight C7, and then I'm threatening to get my knight out, which seems pretty nice. But I guess the problem is Rook takes Queen C3 and Queen F6. That feels a little annoying. Although I could still play Knight C7. If Queen takes... Oh, Queen takes C3 comes with check. I was hoping to throw in Knight E6 and then take back. But I mean, this is... Okay, is there something simpler here? I can't move the queen at all yet because I'm still in this pin. So I feel like this might be forced. I guess it must be. Yeah. Rook D7, unclear. Okay, so I'm not like crazy that this is like completely winning or something. Yeah, Rook D7, Bishop D7 was a nice move. So what does Axel Smith say? White should exchange queens to safeguard his king with an okay position. Wow, and White went queen takes A7. Yeah, that looks completely wrong. From Bent Larsen, okay. Let's have a look at what the engine says. Alright, so Queen C3 is actually top move, which I'm quite happy with. And if King G8, can we go Knight C7 or not? Oh, Rook F7 with -4. Yikes. Okay, so there are some big issues. Why though? Why can't I just go like Queen E3 or something? Oh shit, there's Rook C7. Right. And there's no way I can keep tabs on both pieces. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Rook F7 I probably should have seen. I guess I didn't really appreciate that this was a pin. That was the issue. But yeah, okay. And also, I guess, yeah, that's a better... King G8 is a better try then. Because Queen F6... I guess we just trade. Yeah, not clear at all. I mean, I saw that the knight wasn't getting trapped, because whenever Rook D8, Knight C7 is played, like, it's not easy to win the knight, but the knight is just so weak here. Yeah, and this is actually slightly better for black. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. But given the starting position, you know, we have to try something. Sacked my queen with 2 knights and I managed to outplay an enemy in the endgame. That's beautiful. Yeah, okay. It's that kind of like situation when you blunder and then you kind of just sack to like, you know, have something. Like you still need to find the best of the bad situation. So I can respect it. Okay, took Markov against Tau. Exercise 599, but almost at the 600 mark, which is pretty crazy. Okay, instincts are like, one of these stacks has to be winning. Probably knight takes makes more... I don't know. No, bishop takes more sense, because then we're threatening just to open the king even more if they don't take us. And then we keep the knight in the attack if they do take us. Bishop takes is definitely the instinct. Then again, at knight takes, they really can't take us, because then we can go check. If king h1, we go mate. If king h3, we go check on f3 and then give mate. So knight g4 does win a pawn. Whereas bishop g4, maybe they can take and get away with this. Like, somehow the queen is a bit clumsy trying to enter if they play like rook f1 or something, so... I think knight takes then should be correct. I mean, we win a pawn, like, and weaken the king, like, that's surely enough. Okay. Well, I don't think they had to take the knight, but... White instead resigned after knight e4, knight e5? I mean, could you play on with rook f1? Is this, like, completely over? Rook f1. Oh, there's knight c4. Wait, but then that loses connection on this pawn, so how is this winning? Queen f5. I mean, to me, that's still like a little bit unclear. I mean, you're not threatening checkmate. Definitely looks ugly, but yeah, resignation feels a bit premature to me, but I don't know. Okay. Well, at least we got the right capture, and let's just double check if bishop takes g4 wasn't good due to this rook f1. Yeah, fg4, knight g4, and rook f1. Okay, good. Where we saw all of that. There is still play with queen e7, but yeah, not comparable to the other line. Yeah, knight takes g4 looks much better to open the queen, exactly, for us. Okay, next one. Okay, exercise 600, let's go. So you've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop against queen, rook, rook, knight, knight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 6. Welcome, average hater, to the stream. Bedtime buddy, yeah. I know. And you have to scroll back to the start of the stream to hear my reasons why I'm still awake. But yeah, it's definitely past my bedtime. But who wouldn't want to be committed to the grind and be on exercise 600, having grinded 3 times a week since the 1st of May, and at new peaks in my chess. So we gotta dedicate, even if, you know, we have other stuff going on in our life. We just keep grinding. We just keep grinding, and that's why we're here. But yeah, hope you enjoy average hater, and hope you have a early night. I don't know why I'm saying hope you have an early night when it's 2 in the morning, but maybe it's not 2 in the morning for you. Henry is asking, is this the woodpecker method? Oh, is the woodpecker method working for you? Make you stronger? You still use CTR 4.0? Thanks for the questions. CTR 4.0, I'm not using as actively as I wish I did. I think it's just like, it's not as, I can't get like, I can't be as committed to it, because I think like the actual tactics themselves are better than this woodpecker method, but I can't stream CTR 4.0. Whereas I can stream woodpecker, which is why it's like more desirable for me to do this, because I'm only really training tactics when I stream. But what I am doing actually, the CTR 4.0 tactics are based on this old Russian art of combination by Maxim Bloch, and I am working with some of my students with this book. So I actually end up doing a lot of the puzzles when marking their homework, right? So in a way, I'm kind of doing it, but not completely really. And thank you for the move spoiler, Frizz. I did not see your moves because I saw the move spoiler. But yeah, no, I think the app is really great if you can like set up a routine to do it. And yeah, Woodpecker is working for me just because purely I am calculating and I'm solving puzzles on a consistent basis. I don't really believe that the book is that amazing. But I think the puzzles are just like a decent level for me where they're not so easy where, you know, it's pure pattern recognition and they're not so hard to the point where, you know, I'm doing like one puzzle a stream because there's too much to work out. It's kind of like that medium level, which I think is good to kind of get more secure with. So that's my long answer, Henry. Thanks for asking. And let's keep solving. So yeah, we have the 2 bishops against 2 knights. But yeah, in terms of, but to answer your final part of your question, like, have you improved? I genuinely think so, because in my classical games, I am just calculating much cleaner. And without a shadow of a doubt, the practice that I've put in has made a difference to, yeah, the effectiveness of my calculation. But of course, it's not perfect. Of course, there's still a lot to work on, but it's something. Now, the line that I'm looking at is this pawn f7, knight f7, and queen f3, hitting the knight and the rook. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, we win a pawn. It comes with check. If they don't take us, I mean, and they play here, I mean, this is literally checkmate. And if they run the other way, I mean, we've won a free piece. We can always move the queen away with check or something. If they come d7, if they go d8, I mean, again, we can save our queen. So I think pawn takes, knight takes, and queen f3 looks really, really strong. How do they save both? Maybe they can block with the knight, like knight c6. That blocks the rook and also protects f7. And this is where either I find a win or I accept that I'm tunnel visioning and it's time to look at some real candidates. But I think the point is after queen f3, knight c6, I can play bishop e4, threatening to win the piece. But then they have knight e5, and they are kind of holding everything. So to be honest, let's actually slow it down and let's think. So, okay, our queen's being attacked. This rook is loose. This rook is loose. This queen is loose. This is a potential threat. The bishops, are they achieving anything? Maybe some ideas of sacking one day. So, okay, what moves do I actually have available? Because this is also a check. If that does something, probably not. I mean, it opens up the rook, but what good does that do? This is the only other check. If I were to do a capture, maybe like bishop g6. I mean, they can even take back with the f-pawn. Really don't see how that works. And no other big threats. Like queen e5 and then bishop b5, like it's just not working. There's nothing here. Unless queen e5 pawn takes. Oh shit, maybe this actually does work. Oh, surely not. I mean, I'm like I don't think they can take back with the pawn because we just take on f7. And king f8, there's bishop h6. Right? So queen e5, pawn e5. I don't really want to take first because then they can run. And I have one discovered attack. Discovered check, sorry. But does that actually work? Bishop takes b5? I mean, what if they just block with the knight? I could then go pawn takes f7. And if they go king e7... I've got bishop g5 maybe? King e6. Rook f6 is checkmate. Queen e5, pawn e5, bishop b5, knight blocks. We down a queen for a knight. But then we take here check. What if they go king f8? Bishop h6, king e7. If I go back bishop g5, they can go back bishop f8. Do I really have a win? I don't know. Yeah, this is a horrible position. So it's very tempting now. So okay, queen e5 is kind of legit, but pawn f7 is also somewhat legit. Could it be a move order thing? What if we play like pawn here? No, we can't sack the queen then. Go back to this idea of queen f3. Have any other candidates except queen f3? Queen f3 and knight c6. How do I win? What about a move like bishop b6? Really good. They can't take my bishop because I take on f7. That looks like it probably wins. I reckon the queen sack is speculative. I'm gonna take on f7. Oh, and it is the queen sack. I mean, I could have cheated by just thinking like it's Mikhail Tal. It's probably queen e5. But yeah. Okay, so first it's queen e5, d5, bishop e5, ab5, ef7, king f8, bishop h6. But I don't think bishop h6 is checkmate because they've got king e7. Right? Or did I miscalculate? No, because they blocked with the knight. Ah, in your line you didn't block. You can stream CTL 4.0. I've streamed it. Oh, that's cool, Henry. Do you have a chess channel or do you just stream on Henry Bomber? And with your CTL 4.0, do you can you just solve the exercises on the website if you've paid for the app, or is there a website associated with it? Okay, so on a second thought, Frizz is saying that maybe queen e5, d5, ef7 is better. I just couldn't justify it because we've sacrificed the queen, and even though we get that discovery, I couldn't see like a good enough one. Henry, I'm doing, well, ideally going to do all the puzzles. I'm not doing the repetitions. I'm just going from puzzle to puzzle, just solving. So Fritz says queen e5, d5, ef7, king d7. I don't like king d7. I like king d8. Because then I avoid... Oh, but it's probably similar anyway. Queen e5, d5, pawn f7, king d7, bishop f5, king c6, bishop e4, knight d5, bishop takes d5, king d7, and bishop a8. Then you've won 2 pieces and a rook for a queen. And if they take back on a8, then you promote on f8. So that does look good. So if d5, pawn f7, king d8, and we still go for this bishop f5 discovered check, then that's even stronger, actually. Ah, that's even stronger. Wow. Because, yeah, the king is just completely stuck. But what if they block knight d5 there? If they block knight d5 and you go rook takes, then they've got king e7. Don't think that's clear. And if you go rook d7 to win the queen, they just sack the queen, bishop takes, king takes. And I think you've just got bishop, pawn, rook against 2 rooks. But in fairness, in that final position, if they play a move like rook f8 or something, you can always play bishop h6. So is that winning? If they go like king e7 to try and control this queening square, we can play bishop c5 and promote. That might be winning, actually. That might be winning. I kind of rate it. I think Frizz is right, though. Take on f7 first. Bishop f5. We're going to get Frizz's line, aren't we? Bishop e4. Beautiful stuff, Frizz. Good job. Oh, I thought bishop takes d5. Also wins. Good enough. Amazing stuff. King d8. Let's see if my line was actually correct on this. I was hoping for bishop f5. Yeah, and on knight d5, rook d5 was my line. And I thought rook d7 is still winning. Because after queen takes, bishop takes, king takes. Oh, this is not correct. Oh dear. I thought that I can just promote and I'll be winning, but I guess the point is that they've still got a pawn here, and the pawn endgame is not clear at all. Yeah, like if we win this piece, it's actually not clear because they're gonna win this pawn. Yeah. So instead of this, oh, just promoting. Yeah, I didn't see that. That's annoying. Yeah, I used to stream on Twitch. It takes a lot out of you. Yeah, for sure. I like streaming on YouTube a bit better, but that's because I also post some YouTube content. So it's all in one place. And I also like that the streams save as well. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. Like, I feel like I'm quite minimalist and I'm very happy to let things go. But if it's something digital and it doesn't take up any physical space, then I'm very happy to like retain that stuff. Like I'm so happy that all of these streams are saved on like a massive cloud that I can go back to if I ever want to, which I don't. But like it's nice that it's not just dissipated into thin air. But only because it's neat. If I had to keep like a physical copy of every stream and it took up more and more space, then forget it. I don't know. So, Henry asks, what do you think is better? Study puzzles like this and take time to solve, or puzzle rush timed? It depends on your strength and weakness and what you need to work on, and it depends what time control you're trying to play. I think if you're playing classical and you're trying to improve at classical, then I think this is better for the average person, because on average, I think this calculation skill is more important. But my actual answer for you, Henry, would depend on you. So unfortunately, I don't know enough about you. I mean, you're welcome to share more, but yeah, I can't say for certainty what's right for you. Oh shit, Frizz, you have to do something early morning? Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, the only reason why I'm also doing this is because, like, you know, I don't have anything going on until the evening. So, yeah, things get a bit messed up then. So be it. I mean, I'm very proud of myself because I started meal prepping and, like, cooking, like, batch cooking. Like, you know, you cook once and then you cook enough for, like, 5 meals. And I did that today, which, you know, required some effort, and I'm quite happy with the result. But yeah, we're getting off track. Let's keep solving. But yeah, very, very nice line, Frizz. Very good. And if we didn't take on f7 and we played bishop takes b5, let's see how that would have gone. I think, yeah, knight c6 was the problem. Yeah. And then we just didn't have anything here. We just had a draw because bishop h6 is king e7. So I am glad that I saw this cleanly and saw that I had nothing more than a draw here. But yeah, ef7. Beautiful stuff. Somehow I didn't see that after king d8 I can promote, which is a bit annoying. But that's why we do these puzzles as well. Like, just to look at this kind of stuff. Okay, Tau against Korchnoi. Tau to play and win. All these pawns have blocked up on the queen side in a very weird way. I mean, does rook d8 win? If they take, then I just go queen e8. Which doesn't necessarily win, because they can play queen f8. So okay, let's solve this properly. So there's queen rook rook bishop against queen rook rook bishop. Got 6 pawns against 6. Same color bishop. Black has back rank issues. Potentially so does white. The queen is a little bit overworked defending both these rooks. We've got like some pressure on these open files. So okay, let's consider our candidates here. Do we have any checks? No. Do we have any captures? Only this one. Looks terrible. Do we have any threats? So rook d8 was a threat. Queen e8 I guess could be a threat as well. Any other moves that disrupt the defense? Maybe like rook d5. I mean, the bishop is hanging. Let's be aware of that. Queen e8 is starting to look pretty good, actually. So let's look at let's go through our moves. So queen e8, if they take us, we just take, and then we give mate. Queen e8, if they can't take our bishop anymore, we take it. Queen e8, do we have a threat? We don't have a threat immediately, but maybe we're just planning to play this rook d8 and there's actually nothing that black can do. If we go queen e8 and they like make a window, maybe that's annoying. So okay, let's just check this capture does nothing, right? Does absolutely nothing. Okay, rook d8. Also doesn't really come with a threat. They can't take the bishop though, because we can take on f8. But like if they make a window or something, can we actually do something here? Somehow I feel like this should be winning. But I don't see how we can get the queen out of the way with tempo so that we can play rook e8. I guess maybe queen down is enough, because we're threatening to win the queen. If they trade, then we pick up the bishop. So maybe rook d8 does come with a threat. So rook d8, my issue with it was after rook takes, and we give a check, they go queen f8. I feel like we're just completely dead there. Whoever is spamming the love hearts on chat, can you... I request that you stop. Because I can see out the corner of my eye. Which is not ideal for solving puzzles. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have anything after rook d8, rook takes, queen e8, and queen f8. God, I have no idea. Did I really consider all my candidate moves, or am I missing something? Rook d5 did nothing, right? They just take. It's got to be rook d8, but how? After rook takes d8, it's got to be this. Give a check here, they just go queen f8. I'm really busted. Yeah, so it's not rook d8. So queen e8. I may just go h6. Or maybe now I go rook d5? Combine the two if they take my bishop? Well, they can't. Queen e8, h6, rook d5. Maybe that's the key. Ah, okay, I didn't see that. So queen e8. Maybe I am just threatening to play rook d8. And win. Maybe queen e8 is just winning. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I think we're going to go for it. So they block this way. Now, if my logic is consistent, rook d8 should just win. Because you add pressure, they still can't take the queen. I guess you're now threatening stuff like this, maybe. So rook d8 seems like the sensible move. Still can't take my bishop because I can take, so yeah, rook d8. Yeah. It's not possible to defend both rook takes d8 and also queen f7, I see. So queen f7. Oh, I could have actually done it like this, but... Yeah, wins as well, but slightly unnecessary, yeah, for sure. Why give yourself that weird material imbalance? Alright, let's see how people are doing. Okay, so Fritz says, Henry, I think both are important, but it's mostly about the time control you want to improve in. Yeah, so similar answer to me. Henry says, I make 1200 rapid. I mainly play online. I'm trying to get 2000. Awesome. Yeah, it's cool that, like, you know, you have an ambition, like a goal that's like 800 points above you. I don't know if it makes sense to have like more shorter term goals, but I don't know. Probably goal setting is all subjective in terms of like how beneficial it is, right? Like people probably benefit from different types of goals depending on who they are. But yeah, I wouldn't. So you're saying puzzles are the main study until you get a higher elo, and strategy is a must. Probably. I mean, I don't know, Henry, if you've seen one of my recent videos, which was like, you know, how to get to 2000 FIDE. But I think you could probably extrapolate that down and consider it at 2000 rapid, just on a smaller scale. I think all of the points I put there probably are somewhat relevant. And I think if you follow those steps, you would definitely get 2000, no matter who you are. But yeah, no, Fritz does make a good point. Tactics are like having a sledgehammer in a boxing fight. Even if your opponent plays perfect strategy, one missed tactic can flip the game. So yeah, big focus on tactics I'd recommend. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, if you do have incredibly good tactics, and that's actually my first point in my Road to 2000 FIDE video, which is, yeah, if you have really good calculation, then it completely defeats everything else. But it's also easier said than done. I think if I can be an example of how difficult it is to improve my tactical ability, I mean, yeah, it definitely doesn't come easy to everyone. But yeah, looks like Queen E8 is what people are saying. Welcome, Peter, as well. Good morning, good night. I don't know what time this is. Okay, Henry sliding into DMs. Nice. Any rook d8 or queen e8, we gotta consider a rook af7 response. Well, I'm glad like my rook d8 idea was still applicable even with this defense. So yeah, nice. Let's do one more. Definitely good night. Yeah, it's a bit too awful to call this morning. Okay, this feels really sketch. I don't know why. This just feels really sketch. Like there's something wrong with this. Question is what and how do we exploit it? Okay, so material is just equal. I think it's because this knight is only defended once, and somehow it feels like we can exploit that. But the problem is if we play like bishop here, they can always take. Or can they? Probably, yeah. So, okay, in this position, do we have any checks? Yeah, we can take on c2, take on f3. Do we have any captures? Take on e2. Do we have any threats? Ooh, bishop h3 is a threat. Hello. That's what was sketchy about this position. I knew there was something. Yeah, bishop h3, if they take, then I give a fork. If bishop h3, they take, then I take here. So I think once you see bishop h3, you can just play it. Bishop h3, what if they just castle? But then I can take on f3, they take and I take the rook. Bishop h3, they have no counter checks, they have no counter threats. Just triple checking just in case. Bishop h3, if they take the knight, we take here. They don't have any counter threats on our queen, and we're hitting their rook. We play it. Okay, they actually did this line. Yeah, and my thoughts were I just move back. And I'm already happy, but maybe I'm not happy enough. Like maybe it's I've only won one piece, they've won one of mine. So maybe it makes sense that I need to take this knight and win even more. Yeah, makes sense to throw this in. Yeah. Yeah, actually that's an important difference. I guess maybe subconsciously that was available to me. Yeah, bishop h3, very nice. I knew there was something. I was going to make a joke about the fact that it's a puzzle, but then I remembered it's Axel Smith. Yeah, I mean, you can never be too sure what you're gonna get, right? So, yeah. But also, I mean, when I said that I knew there's something like, okay, I know you're only joking as well, but I think it's like sometimes certain positions feel worse than other positions, even if there's a tactic in both scenarios. Like that just felt wrong. Okay, again, I'm tunnel visioning some lines. Probably shouldn't be, so let's just think about this. So we've got queen, 2 rooks and a knight and 6 pawns. Queen, 2 rooks and a knight and 2 bishops and 4 pawns. So they've got 2 bishops for 2 pawns. But their king is in utter shambles. Although they are potentially escaping. The queen is somewhat useful in terms of controlling certain squares. Yeah, we've got a bunch of candidates. So, anything else to note? Pressure here, but this is a pin. Pressure here. X-ray pressure here. X-ray pressure here. Potential back rank. Battery. Knight coming in somewhere. Okay, so what options do we have? We can check. We can check. We can check. We can check. We can capture. And that's all the captures, aside from those checks that we already looked at. And what about threats? Maybe knight d5, try and stop this escape. Yeah, knight e6 is a check. So okay, I think let's start there. I mean, maybe if we could, maybe rook e6 as well, potentially. So okay, let's go through one by one. So if we were to give knight e6 check, that forces pawn takes, because if they were to take with the queen, we just take back, and we are a happy bunny. So, knight e6, pawn takes. Do we have a follow-up? And what options do we have? We've got several checks. I guess we could now take on f7 now that the queen's scope is blocked. And if they take back, then we take on f8 first and then take on f7. But is that really enough to be winning? Because we're still a bishop down. Still a bishop down in that line. But their king is extremely weak. So let's go one more time. Knight e6, pawn takes. Rook f7. Knight f7. Queen f8. King c7. Queen f7. king b8. That looks hopeless for them. I mean, we take with the pawn, got the support. Looks super nice. Is that all forced? Pawn takes and then rook takes. Can they do anything else here? They can't defend the bishop. They can't run with their king. Looks really bad. So they need to take, and then we take the bishop with check. They only have king d7 or king c7. Let's try king d7 this time. We take. Maybe they go king d6 to try and cover this e6 point. But at the very least we can take, and if they take with the bishop, we can go queen e7 check. And then wherever the king goes, we can win on e6. And we still have a strong f-pawn. So yeah, I think this is just the answer. Yeah. And what did I say was the answer? I've already forgotten. Rook takes f7. Yeah, and then queen f8, queen f7. Beautiful. The f-pawn queens, okay. I mean, I'd be more interested about taking this e-pawn. But yeah, very nice that like the first candidate move is the correct line. Yeah, fe6 surely. Oh, okay, apparently it's not as precise as some other moves, but I mean, who doesn't take this pawn here? I mean, queen g8. Yeah, I guess that's the point actually. You can just get on with promoting the f-pawn. I mean, they can't move this pawn without losing the queen. So maybe this is actually more finessed. It's almost like I see like the potential to just take an asset and like I still have the f-pawn. That feels more useful to me. It's like, you know, if I could, you know, have another asset rather than just try and make use of my existing asset, I would rather another asset, right? It's kind of like from a place of like security as well as greed. I'm not sure. Probably more security. But yeah. Okay, knight e6 d6, rook f7. Yeah, Peter doesn't even expand, just gives that line and says it's good enough. And with 2 seconds to go, I'm not doing another puzzle. I am just happy that I put in the shift. I'm glad that we got some nice training in. Funny to see Frizz, Peter, and Henry all night owls and awake when they probably shouldn't be. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and yeah, keeping me company while doing this. And to be honest, I should probably sleep, but I will watch at least one episode of Steins Gate because what a show. What an absolute show. Yeah, very excited to see how it goes. So thank you for tuning in and see you guys on Wednesday, hopefully at a more normal time for some more chess training. Okay, see you guys.